Hey friends, it's me, Amy Rebecca, your internet bestie for all things personal development, intentional living and dream chasing, as well as reformed overconsumer turned intentional consumer who is asking everyone to simply take a step back and ask, why? Why are we buying this nonsense? Why are we acting this way? Why has it become normalized to have entire rooms of our home dedicated to cosmetics items? And I feel that the TikToks we are going to be watching today really highlight the extent to which we as a society have quite simply lost the plot. Because it's very, very clearly not about the products anymore. It's not about buying things you need. It's not even about buying things that you like. It is quite literally buying for the sake of buying without knowing or caring what it is that you are buying. To me, this right here, this is final boss level consumerism. We are delving into the world of mystery purchases, buying things without even knowing what the heck it is you're buying. Mystery scoops, mystery bags, mystery boxes. Essentially handing over your money and saying, I don't even care what you give me in return. We touched on this concept at Christmas time when we did like the unhinged world of advent calendars. This is a very similar vibe to that. Caffeinate yourself, friends, because this one is going to be wild. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to subscribe. I have a bunch more of them in the pipeline. Also, before anyone says anything, I know, okay? I know my tan is patchy and insane. I know my hair is unruly and I look like Dolly Parton in the 80s. You don't need to tell me. I don't have the energy to deal with that today, so we are quite simply rolling with it. Welcome. We're gonna start by taking a look at some examples of mystery scoop content on TikTok, which is exactly what it sounds like. You pay for someone to scoop you up a bunch of random products and you get whatever you're given. There is a slightly fancier version of mystery scoop content where instead of like scooping the actual products, they'll scoop up some little balls or some little beads that kind of represent the product that you're gonna get. We'll look at both types. And let me tell you, this content, huge on TikTok. People are making some serious money by selling mystery scoops of all kinds of things. Makeup, jewelry, bath bombs, stickers, anything you can think of, people are selling mystery scoops of it on TikTok. Let me show you our first example.
Packing Winnie mystery scoop for Crystal. Oh my god, they are super cute. Do you like Winnie?
If I was making a very judgmental face throughout that, it's not necessarily that I was judging. I am judging, but that's not why I was making the face. That whole ASMR, like the tapping and the crunkling and I get like a visceral reaction to it. I don't know why people like it. I know it's a big thing. people whispering into microphones. It makes me want to peel off my skin. It's disgusting. So prepare to see me make a lot of horrified faces throughout this video, because a lot of people doing scoops, they've got like volume full up and they're doing the clickety clackety like crunkly stuff. Hate it. I think it's gross. Anyway, before we even get into the scoop itself, I don't know if you noticed, but everything she had in relation to the scooping of the scoop was themed. So she was pulling yellow balls, because it's Winnie the Pooh, out of a Winnie the Pooh plate with her yellow nails, and she had Winnie the Pooh in the background. And I've watched a few of this specific creator's scoop content, and this is something she does. So the balls will match the theme, the nails will match, the plate will match. So before we even get into the overconsumption of the scoop itself, we have the overconsumption of having to brand everything for every video. Like, instead of just being like, these are the plastic balls I use for my scoops, it's like, no, I must have a plethora of plastic balls for every theme we have. It's just stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff, you know what I mean? Now, when it comes to the actual products in this scoop, you might look at some of those and think that they're really cute. They might be your vibe. You might look at them and think that they are absolute tat. You know, that is subjective. One man's trash is another man's treasure, but that is fundamentally the reason why mystery scoops make no sense. We all like different things, and when you're being handed a bag full of completely random items that you did not get to choose for yourself, odds are you're not gonna like them all, even if you really love Winnie the Pooh. Okay, if you're a Winnie the Pooh stan and you're like, that is my whole personality, I love it so much, there's still gonna be things in there that aren't to your taste. Realistically, you're not gonna like it all, and also you definitely don't need it all. Like, don't get me wrong, because in this case I see that a lot of the items that she's included are objectively useful items, right? Like a brush, a pen, a pencil case, notebook, all of these things that we do actually, most of us use in our day-to-day lives, great. But also stuff that we all already own. We all already have a brush, probably a good quality brush. That didn't look like, that thing would snap if it tried to get through this. So it's not about stuff that you necessarily will like, because that's a gamble, and it's not about stuff that you need, because it's stuff that you probably already have. It's just about an accumulation of more stuff, just to have more stuff. And the top comment is, let's talk about the unnecessary plastic baggies, which has 3,760 likes. Now 3,761, because I just liked it. And let's talk about that. Most of those individual items get wrapped up in the individual single-use plastic bags, which obviously just makes this scene so much worse from an overconsumption and environmental standpoint. Like, if we're very honest with ourselves here, most of that stuff is just going to end up in the landfill. I don't see that pen lasting long. I don't see someone getting a huge amount of use out of that big claw clip with the giant Winnie the Pooh on the back. It's novelty stuff. It's stuff that's not built to last. It's stuff that you're like, you immediately think cute and then you throw it away. So most of that stuff is just going to end up in the landfill. And then on top of that, we have that each of those things is wrapped in single-use plastic, which is also headed straight for the landfill. It's a Russian doll nightmare of trash, if you ask me personally. And friends, prepare yourself mentally for what I am about to tell you, because these scoops are valued at $169.99. Oh, but it's okay. They're on sale at the moment for $79.99. I ask this a lot, but are we okay? I don't know if it's like currency conversion. I don't know. They have a higher cost of living in America. I don't see this stuff being worth $80 of anyone's money. And I think this really is an example of how we've come to a point where people are just, I feel, desperately trying to fill a void by purchasing anything and everything. I read a book last year, which I would love to show you, but I think I put it downstairs. It's called Dopamine Nation. It's an incredible read. I 10 out of 10 recommend it. It explains how dopamine works, the impact that it has on our brains, and how it leads to addiction. Now, shopping can very easily become an addictive habit because we get that spike of dopamine when we buy something new. It feels good. You get that little like, look at me, my new purchase. Now, the unfortunate thing about the way that dopamine works in our brain is that it always has to come back to a set point, but our brain does not let the dopamine levels just naturally fall back to like their resting 0 point. No, our brain likes to flip in the complete opposite direction. So you get this boost of dopamine, your brain panics because things are out of balance, and it goes, quick, throw everything in the opposite direction, and suddenly you have this extreme dopamine depletion. That is why sometimes after a really high high, you get this sense of like emptiness or discontent, post-holiday blues, that like gross feeling after you've been drinking. Some of that is liver damage, but also some of it is just like dopamine depletion. And that's how people get to a point where they are in a state of like constantly searching for these dopamine highs. And the more that you have these dopamine spikes, the less they get every time. So you need more. You need to get more of whatever it is that you're addicted to in order to feel that sense of high. And then the low comes, and then you're looking for something to bring you back up. And it's, read the book, guys, it's really interesting. Anyway, that whole educational tangent was just to try and give context to what I think is happening here, because from a logical standpoint, sending someone $80 of your hard-earned money and not caring what they send you in return, and we can see with our eyes, I don't think that's $80 worth of anything. It's not about the stuff. It's about trying to chase that dopamine high. It's about trying to get some kind of sense of something. Next.
Trellis ordered 1 deluxe lip gloss scoop with hand and 1 deluxe beauty scoop with hand. This is her first order, and she's super lucky because she won our Dior Glow Lip Oil lip gloss. She got a few duplicates, so you know I had to swap those out so that she gets a full variety of lip gloss. Here's the results. Thank you so much for your order, Trellis. I'm so happy that you were our lucky girl who won the designer lip gloss. I hope I get to scoop some more scoops for you soon.
So the appeal, I guess, with this kind of mystery scoop is the quantity. That is a heck of a lot of stuff, especially lip gloss. Girl, you're never going to use that much lip gloss, not in your lifetime. Not if you live for another 80 years, and by then it would be expired anyway. It would just be a goop. Don't be wearing goop. So I can only assume that what's drawing people into this is that, like, oh my gosh, look how much stuff I can get. It's about the quantity rather than, I think, the quality, because I know that she mentioned a Dior lip gloss in there, which is nice, but other than that, it is difficult for me to see because it's moving so quickly and you can't really see the labels on any of the products, but I could not recognize any brands in there. Again, I could be wrong. They might just not be brands that I recognize, or maybe they have different brands over there than we have over here. But just looking at the packaging, it didn't look to me like those were like well-known brands, right? They look like the kind of thing that you would get in like B&M or Home Bargains. And no shade, because we all love B&M. But my initial assumption when I watched this scoop was that the selling point would be like, look how much stuff I got for my money. Like real quantity over quality kind of bargain hunting mentality. Girl, this scoop right here, the one that we just watched, £141.74. Girl, I am so serious. And even with the best will in the world, let's just say for the sake of argument that actually all that stuff is really decent quality. It's not the stuff that you buy in Poundland, which is kind of what it looks like. But let's just say that it's all good brands. It's still £140 worth of you don't know what. You don't know. I talked about this when I did my advent calendar video. Having someone send you a random assortment of makeup makes no sense. Different formulas work differently on different people. Different shades match certain skin tones more than others. What looks good on me is not going to look good on you. My preference is not going to be your preference. You know, imagine I ordered a mystery lip bundle and I got sent all cool tones with a very like glossy finish. I'd be horrified. I wouldn't wear any of those. They would look terrible on me. I'm here for a warm toned nude matte only. And like, I do see the appeal. I see why people get like roped into this, because We all love, you know, when you're at a school fete and you hook a duck and you're like, what prize am I gonna get? I love the surprise, I love the anticipation, it's exciting. But like hook a duck is like £2 and that money goes towards like funding textbooks for kids. We're not doing this on a £140 scale to get a bag full of lip gloss. Like, I don't understand. £141. It couldn't be me. Not in a box, not with a fox, not wearing socks. Not even if I won the Euro Millions, you would not see me spending £140 on what lip gloss you don't even know.
Let's pack my biggest order so far. This customer ordered 4 scoops. She received a ton of jewelry in this order, and I'm not even joking, just wait until the end. She wanted no lashes, so we're going to set them aside and swap them out later. Her initial is T, and she also gave me her ring size. So first off, we have 2 silver rings. I picked out this square shaped ring. I think it's so pretty. And then also this sparkly band with circular stones. She received 6 gold rings. Yes, 6. I picked out this heart-shaped one, a Cuban link, a rainbow one with sparkles, a sparkle band, and then another style Cuban ring. She also received 4 anklets, so I picked out this slim dainty one, a butterfly one, a simple chain, and then also her initial in T. Next in the order we have 3 bracelets. I did have 3 left, but 2 of them were the same, so I only picked out 2. And then for the third item, I gave her earrings because she hasn't received any earrings so far. Next up in the order we have 2 necklaces. I found her initial in the big font, and then also in this really pretty old English font. Next we have a single jewelry box. She does need more than that actually because she's received so much jewelry so far. I mean, not even finished. Next we also have a silver pink ring, and I picked out this pretty band with square stones. Next we have an eye mask. I think it was 1. Yeah, it was 1 eye mask. And then I was so bummed about this part. She received 5 face masks, but unfortunately I didn't have any left, so I swapped 3 of them out for eye masks. And then the other 2, I picked out a necklace, a silver choker, and then another necklace with the money bill. Okay, so let's get to the lashes. I swapped one out for a pair of earrings. This says baby on it. And then another one, I swapped it out for a silver band. This one is so pretty. Another one I swapped out for a circular style stone. And another one for a square band. And another one for her surname initial. I didn't have the T, unfortunately. Another one for another eye mask, and then finally we swapped this out for another jewelry box because she really needs it. And then of course, silly me, didn't even record the packaging. Yeah,
I do see some positives in this one, just simply in that she checked her ring size and the customer expressed beforehand that she didn't want any false lashes, so she had like a semblance of control over what she was getting in her package, rather than being sent a bunch of stuff that like doesn't fit and that she knows she won't use. But I keep having to go back to it, like there's no way that she's gonna like all of those things. And yeah, that was a lot of jewelry. Maybe it's just me because I don't wear a lot of jewelry, I'm just not interested in having a lot of jewelry, but that just feels overwhelming. That's a lot of jewelry. But again, even though it is a lot, you can't convince me that that's good value for money. Each one of those scoops is £15, so that whole total that we just saw was £60. I don't know, and again, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but from just what I can see, it looks like that jewelry is plastic, and there's nothing wrong with wearing plastic jewelry, by the way. Some of us are very forgetful and take our jewelry off and leave it places, so if you want to wear plastic jewelry, more power to you. I support you in that. But £60 for plastic jewelry, it just doesn't feel like you're getting a good deal. It feels like, just from the look of it, again, could be wrong, that this is like a mass order from like AliExpress or something in the plastic packaging. It just looks that way. So £60 for that, it feels a lot. Does it not feel a lot? It feels a lot to me. You could get some really nice jewelry for £60, or if you did want to get like plastic jewelry, go to Claire's with your £50 and choose the exact pieces that you know you will love and enjoy and wear. I don't know, sometimes I feel like, am I the only one who thinks this is insane? Speaking of insane, now we're going to move on to a much more niche and much more on-trend area of the whole please take my money and hopefully I'll like what you give me in return phenomenon that we are experiencing. Labubu's. There's a lot to be said about Labubu's as an entity, but I'm not going to go into the whole ins and outs of the absolutely unhinged world of Labubus today because so many people have already done it. Kiki Chanel did an exceptionally good video about it recently. I will link that down below. We're just going to do a little overview in case you don't know what I'm talking about. Now, Labubu goes back to 1972, and originally it was a character created by an artist called Kasing Lung, and I'm probably butchering that. I am so sorry. And I think it goes to show that it is the brainchild of an artist because it is artsy. Some people find them very cute. I'm not one of those people. I find them very unnerving, but I do appreciate that it's got something going on, right? It's different. It's startling. Art is meant to make you feel some kind of way, and this makes me feel scared. Anyway, in 2015, they started making Labubu figures as part of a figurine range called the Monsters. Labubu was just one of many. But for whatever reason, Labubu, all of a sudden, it's become this global phenomenon. It is on trend. It is viral. It is out of control. We're talking people queuing all night to get their hands on them, fighting each other in the shops. That kind of viral. I have an example to show you.
What do you do when you're an adult with adult money? You buy Labubus. So this is me waiting in line for 7 hours in order to get my hands on the new V3 series. And we had a rather peaceful start to the night. It wasn't until they were getting ready to open up the doors that we had some people trying to cut the lines in the front, which is kind of ballsy of them. But it ended up taking security coming out and removing the people from the line, which they ended up eventually getting out. But once that was all taken care of, they started letting everybody into the mall in order to start lining up on the inside, which it was freezing out there, so I was super happy to go inside of the mall here. That was me getting my stretches in, getting ready for the competition. I ended up being number 66. I was super excited about it because they released that it was 199 sets available, so I was guaranteed one. They did have some restocks, but unfortunately I was 5 people too late to get my hands on the Big Momo. That one I have been trying to track down for so long, but it's alright. I got my hands on the new V3 series, which is the only one I wanted, so I'm so excited. Make sure you check out my other video for the full unboxing.
1:46 a.m. Girl! So yeah, it's a whole phenomenon, but we do see this kind of behavior over and over again with like viral trends. Something suddenly becomes really popular on social media and all of a sudden people are willing to literally camp outside the shop and fight people to get their hands on it because it's the must-have of the moment. That is where we are with Labubus right now. And these things get resold for a lot of money. I just had a very quick scan earlier and I saw them for multiple hundreds of pounds. But for me, the wildest part of all of this, most of it is quite wild, but the wildest part is that Labubus are sold in blind boxes. So you don't know which one you're getting until you open it. So they're sold in like themed lines. They had a big Into Energy line, which was very popular. They had like a Coca-Cola line. So it's just like themes of Labubus. And then within each of those lines, there are different Labubus that you can collect, as well as the secret, which is more rare than the other types, and also they don't have it displayed on the box. You don't know what it looks like. It is a secret. Anyway, as you can imagine, the very nature of these boxes being blind means that it just leads to more overconsumption. People are willing to buy box after box after box, chasing after the ones they want or trying to complete a collection. And these things are not cheap. I saw $17.50, which is not as bad as like $3.50, which I saw on resale, but still $17.50 for a keyring seems a lot, especially if you're going to be buying, I don't know, 10, 20, 50 of them. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, friends. So it says POV, you get the secret Labubu after 50 times of trying.
I'm saying green for this one.
I say blue. I say blue.
At least you it was worth it. It's worth it. You have it.
I mean,
No way. That does look good, doesn't it?
no way. No way.
Look, I'm happy that she's happy. She seems really very pleased. Good for her. I like it when people are happy. Do you know what? Like, I know I come across super judgmental. I have been told that I'm too judgmental and I should just let people live their lives and spend how they want to spend. Oh, I just spilled coffee all over myself. The truth is, if you genuinely, like, if something brings you joy, if you love it, I love that for you. But we must circle back to the fact that she has bought 50 Labubus to get that one that she wanted. And at first I thought that was hyperbolic, and then I saw this that she posted right after. So probably quite literally 50 Labubus. That's £870 on creepy keychains, if anybody wanted to know. And again, people will say it's her money, let her spend it as she wishes. And yeah, but as per always with these videos, I just want to be the person holding up the mirror and saying, is this actually what we want to normalize? I don't know. Like £800 on keychains that you're just... You're not putting all those on your keys. She only wanted one of them and she had to buy another like 40 odd just to get that one. Is that what we want to kind of showcase as being normal or aspirational? I don't think so.
All I ask, literally all I ask today is no dupes. What I don't want is hee. I have multiple hee-hees. I already have CC and I already have ZZ. Dada.
Okay, so this shows you exactly what I was talking about earlier. In each line, there are different Labubus that you can collect. And what she's saying, she already has those 3. So now she's bought 3 more in the hopes that she gets one of the remaining 4 that she wants.
I really want, I would do questionable things. And then I also need Baba or QQ. You better be wishing me luck. Let's take a deep breath. Okay. I'm gonna show you first. It's Cece. It's frickin' Cece. She's so freaking cute. I can't even be mad, but like, these are directly from Pop Mart, by the way, so no Lafufus today. I feel good about this one. It's giving off an aura. I'm gonna show you first again. I really feel like this is QQ. Like, I just feel like it's QQ. It's QQ, isn't it, guys? Fuck! Like, do we understand how low the chance of this happening is? I'm not gonna get upset. I've been manifesting good energy, girl. We still have one more box. Like I told you guys, Dada is the one I want the most, and I feel like the universe is gonna give me her. Between this, my green grape triplets, and my Lafufu, I've earned it. Right? I'm getting a little scared. I'm gonna show you guys first. Oh, that's Dada. Wait, is it backwards? I feel a face. Wait, that's actually Dada. Okay. I really like it.
Okay, that's just another example of how crazy this is. I mean, she already had one of those when she started, and now she's got another 3 of the same one. And I don't know, but I get the impression she's not gonna stop buying them until she gets the ones that she wants. And if you ask me, this is an example of evil genius from Pop Mart, who are the people who sell these things. Because if you could just walk into a shop and choose the Labubu that you wanted, would there be the same hysteria around these? Would they be flying off the shelves in the same manner that they are now? So much of the experience is the unboxing. It's the drama of figuring out which one you got. The highs are high, the lows are low. It works very similarly to gambling, actually. I know that sounds extreme, but go with me on this one. Going back to dopamine, studies have shown that there's actually a really strong link between dopamine release and uncertainty. We know that when something good happens, when we have like a positive experience, we have a spike in dopamine, but actually there is a bigger spike or a more sustained spike in dopamine when there is uncertainty at play. So if you were on the slot machine and you knew you were guaranteed to win, you would have a sense of dopamine with that win, but you actually have a greater hit of dopamine with a near win or a small win followed by a loss. Like the uncertainty of, am I going to win, am I not, oh I almost did, maybe I should try again. That actually kicks in more dopamine than just winning, which is wild. wild. And that is what makes gambling so addictive, and dare I suggest is why this whole Labubu thing is the way it is. It's the anticipation, it's the build-up, it's the, am I gonna get it? Oh no, I didn't, never mind, I'll go out and I'll buy another one and maybe next time I will be lucky. And that, I think, is the reason why these little gremlins are so popular. If you could just go into the shop and choose one, it wouldn't have that same feeling about it. It wouldn't feel so exclusive, it wouldn't feel so exciting, and people wouldn't be out here buying 5, 10, 50 Labubus just trying to get the one that they want. And let's be honest, these are the Beanie Babies of this generation. They're worth so much now in this moment, but let's be honest, in like 12 months time, I see a lot of these being in landfill, because once the craze is over, they will be worthless. Anything in this life that you can buy is only worth what it's worth because people want it. It's like an arbitrary value that we put on things, right? Like diamonds, are they really worth that much? No, only because people are willing to pay that much. Same thing with Labubus. You can buy them now for £300 because there's a craze around it, but once that dies down and these things are not, you know, cool and trendy anymore, they will be worthless. At which point we're going to see hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of Labubus just in the landfill. I hate that about these constant cyclical trends that we see through TikTok. Gross, don't like it. So with that uplifting thought, let's bring this video to a close. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you found it entertaining or informative or in some way a good way to spend your time. If you did, then please go ahead, let me know in the comments, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, I don't need to know about that. You can keep that to yourself. Please remember that you are enough just as you are. I love you so much and I will see you soon. My tan is such a freaking disaster. That's embarrassing. I love you and I will see you soon. Bye guys.